And this is really my calling, to share my story and to share resources and to really empower women to take control of their health and well-being.
Hello, everyone. I am so excited about Onward and Upward with Leslie E. Royal. I'm Leslie, and I will be interviewing several exceptional Black women who are making a significant difference in their communities. Good day, everyone. Welcome to Onward and Upward with Leslie E. Royal. I'm Leslie, and it is my pleasure to introduce a special guest who's here with me today. She is the amazing Alia Stevenson, Chief Programs Officer for the Foundation for Black Women's Wellness. Miss Alia, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. Very excited to be here, Leslie.
Well, it is indeed a pleasure having you. And I tell you, you say you're excited. I am excited. I've been looking forward to this interview for some time now. Whenever we've had meetings, whenever we've worked with you, you are so kind, you are so friendly, you are so positive. You have just this amazing energy that makes people want to be around you. So thank you so much for joining me today.
I am so excited to share this space with you as always. I could say the same thing about you. I follow you. I appreciate your energy, and I'm so excited that we get to talk about our health and center our health and well-being today.
Well, it is my pleasure, and thank you so much. You are looking beautiful, so can you tell me and us, what are you wearing today?
I'm wearing an absolutely beautiful Ashro dress. I am not sure if you can even get the full beauty of it. What I love about it is that it's a little bit stretchy. It's a little bit, you can choose how many buttons you want to work with. That has a lovely belt that you can make unique and accessorize in the way that feels best for you. So I am feeling very beautiful, very confident, and very comfortable at the same time in this gorgeous dress. So thank you to Ashro for making such beautiful dresses to be able to make women feel as wonderful as they do inside on the outside.
Well, you look absolutely fabulous. You're already fabulous and beautiful on the outside, and more so, I think, on the inside. And you look exquisite in that Ashro dress. Yes, indeed. And I am excited about wearing Ashro as well. Whenever I do any of the Onward and Upward interviews, I have on Ashro, and I'm excited about being in this very comfortable dress today. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
You look beautiful as always.
Well, thank you so much. Now, Miss Alia, can you tell us a little about yourself and your organization?
Absolutely. My name is Alia Stevenson. As you said, I'm the Chief Programs Officer for the Foundation for Black Women's Wellness, an organization that is very near and dear to my heart for a number of reasons. We're an organization where our purpose is to empower a generation of well Black women, which is so critical to me. I have a journey with the foundation that began, as we'll talk about a little bit, with a health issue that I faced that allowed me to become a volunteer. I sought out this organization, started volunteering, then became a board member, and now am a proud employee of the foundation. The work that we do to really wrap our arms around Black women and families and advocate for them and really share our experiences and offer nutrition and health and wellness tips and education and training is just, it's an honor to be a part of this organization and an honor to partner with organizations like Ashro to be able to share our knowledge and our offerings to a greater audience of Black women across the nation. So I am excited to talk about this today and to share some of my life story that I hope folks can really see themselves in and hopefully be inspired as well.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much for sharing that. And it is a pleasure to partner with your organization indeed. And Miss Alia, why is fitness and wellness important to you?
Boy, I have come such a great journey in my life. I grew up always being very active. My family was always really focused on eating, growing food, working in the garden, offering nutritious meals. So I took my health and wellness really for granted. I was in sports, always active, and that was a really core part of who I was. As I was getting older, falling in love, getting married, having children, something shifted. And it shifted early in my life. I was 26 years old and pregnant when my heart failed. It was an absolutely scary event and moment in my life. I had no idea what was happening. I thought to myself, oh, I'm just pregnant and I'm having a difficulty breathing. Or, oh, I'm just pregnant, so I put on a little extra weight or was retaining a little bit of water. When in fact, my heart was failing. So I remember the day my face, half my face paralyzed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which urged me, thank goodness, to go into the doctor because I was like, well, this isn't normal. Went to the emergency room where they're like, oh, you're experiencing Bell's palsy, very normal, post-pregnancy and pregnancy, everything should be fine. But I was like, my blood pressure seems really elevated. Those numbers, I don't recall hearing numbers that high before. And thankfully, I had an incredible OBGYN, Dr. Judy Banks, who happened to be in the hospital that day and said, let me just come down and check you out. And I credit her to this day for advocating on my behalf and saving my life. My heart was failing. If I would have been sent home, maybe I would not be sitting here with you today. So that is why health and wellness is so incredibly important to me. I had no idea until I was in my 40s that Black women in their 20s, 1 out of 2 of them have heart failure in their 20s and above. No idea.
I was
And
not aware.
no, me either. And most of us aren't even aware of the signs and symptoms. Or we say, oh, we're just tired, or oh, we're just stressed. We have a way of like, we just need to go lay down. Maybe I'll feel better tomorrow. We dismiss our symptoms as women far too often, in particular as Black women. And so I had no idea that I was even at risk. This wasn't something that we talked about in my family. It wasn't until after my heart failure that I began to have conversations with my family members and learned about my uncle and my cousin and others who also had heart-related illness or disease. And so it was an eye-opening moment for me where I was like, not another woman will experience what I experienced. Not another woman won't know what the signs and symptoms are. And this is really my calling to share my story and to share resources and to really empower women to take control of their health and well-being.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank the Lord that you're here with us today to share that story. And you just said so much that was profound and inspiring. But I want to ask you about 2 things. Um, you listened to your body, and you did not ignore what your body was sharing with you. And after your exceptional OBGYN cared for you, then you decided that you would reach out to your family members.
Yes.
And that's when you discovered that there is a history of heart conditions in your family. So share with us, why is it important for women, African American women in particular, all women, all people in general, to listen to our bodies? And why is it essential for us to go to our family members and ask, what is your health history?
Yes, I just find it's something that we don't talk about. We talk about so much when we're around each other. We check in, how was your week? How are you feeling? And we generally just answer, good. I might have a little pain here, a little something there, but otherwise I'm good. Similar to myself, someone who operates with incredible optimism and joy, we really want to focus on the positive things. So it's really critical that when we have an opportunity, that when we're in our around holiday time, when we're around extended family, or family reunions or barbecues or cookouts, those are the best times to actually say, hey, I'm experiencing some of these symptoms. Does anybody else here experiencing something similar? I was shocked by the number of people in my family who were like, yes. And it just made me question, why don't we share these things more often? Because they're critical to our health history. And I know as soon as I was diagnosed, it became a mission for me to ensure that it was in my children's health history charts. It became critical that I made sure that they had their blood pressure regularly monitored and that they even had echocardiograms, which essentially are an ultrasound of your heart, to make sure that they don't have any signs of the abnormalities that I had with my heart, having postpartum cardiomyopathy, which is a big way of saying one of my heart chambers was enlarged and my mitral valve, which allows the blood to flow in and out, wasn't completely closing all the way. And so those became critical. And so now I listen to my body even more. And I actually advocate and help other women listen to their bodies as well. No longer when I hear someone say like, oh, it just, I'm feeling a little short of breath, I cannot hear that anymore without saying, tell me more. Let's talk about that. How long has it been happening? Have you reached out to your doctor? All those pieces, because our lives and our health is our greatest wealth. And so it's so critical. So many people rely on us, from our friends to our faith community to our family. It is so important that we see our self-care not as selfish, but as critical to be able to do the work that we do day in and day out in our families and in our communities. So that's my mission, to share it. And it's not a perfect journey around health and well-being. And there's things I had to learn in order to really equip myself for a lifetime of wellness versus a minute of a diet or a workout plan. And so everything about my life changed. And I'm proud to announce that today, after a decade on meds, I am med free. I am healthier than ever. I don't have restrictions. I also do my annual exams always to make sure that I remain healthy. And so now I am able to say, hey, for everybody who's experiencing a chronic illness or someone who's experiencing a new challenge in their health history, it is not the end. There are ways to improve, and you can live a full and wonderful life.
Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. And congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Thank heavens, thank God. That is wonderful news about you being med-free. Wonderful, wonderful news. Thank you for sharing. And thank heavens you have a mission of educating others and continuing to make certain that you are well and that your family is well as also. Now, Miss Alia.
Yes.
Asking for a friend. You know how people say asking for a friend. Although I'm asking for myself and a lot of other people out there. How do you commit to working out and exercising even when you don't feel like it?
Yes, and there's oftentimes I don't feel like it. I'm tired, the weather's yucky, I'm sore. I'd rather be doing something else. I got invited somewhere. I'd rather go to breakfast than to go to the gym, maybe. And so there are a few tips and tricks that I have learned over the years that are really critical to my success. Number one, really move in ways that feel good to your body. I have tried everything. I am not going to be a biker. I am not going to be a long distance runner. Those don't feel good to me. I can't commit to them. And if that's what I'm signing up for, then I might as well just stop right now. So I had to think about me. What do I enjoy? And so I encourage women to ask themselves, what were they doing as youth? Were they interested in jumping rope, double dutch? I've seen such a movement in women's health and fitness that really allows us to expand our idea of what is fitness, what is movement. So if it's dancing for you, dance. If it's lifting weights, lift. If it's doing double dutch or jump rope, do it. Do things that feel good to your body, that you're excited about. And that is key to sticking to it. So that's one of my biggest commitments is I have to choose something that honors what I love to do. The other thing that's really and super important to me is really adopting the idea that good is good enough. So sometimes on these like 6-week challenges or all these things that we commit to, if we miss a day, we have failed. If we eat a dessert, we might as well start all over. And that is something that I refuse to do. We should look at this as a marathon, not a sprint. And hey, you might have that peach cobbler, right? Or you might, miss a day at the gym because you prioritize rest, which is very, very critically important. And so part of me sticking to it is getting rid of the idea of perfection. That is so critical. Perfection will steal your joy. You will never live up to it. And therefore it will set you back. So I just say to myself, I'm going to go into the gym and we're going to see what I do. I think I'm going to do this, but if I even do 5 to 10 minutes on this and I go over here and I stretch a bit, I'm doing something. And that is what's most critical. You don't have to be there for 2 hours. Do something, commit to it and celebrate your wins. That's really critical. I love to celebrate. So
yes, any excuse to celebrate will do.
Right. Maybe celebration includes buying a beauuful Ashro dress.
Ashro dress. That's right. I like it. Now, how often do you work out?
My goal is to work out 4 to 5 days a week. Mm-hmm. And that's sustainable for me because I have made working out a social event. Working out is a date for me. So here's how I've done that. Number one, my husband is someone who's also committed to his health and fitness because he too is someone who has heart-related issues. His father, unfortunately, died from a heart attack. And he has, again, this is in our family history. When you know that, you need to do better. And so he's committed to working out. So we work out as a couple. So we go to the gym and we work out with each other. And it's a great way for us to spend time with each other and to do something that's really great for our bodies. We also include our kids in this. So right now we're signed up for a Thursday night volleyball league. Now, we're not in the big competitive league. We're in the fun league, but we're just doing something as a family that is centered around our health and well-being, as well as spending time with each other.
That is a great idea. Oh, my goodness. Spending quality time, at least 1 week, the whole family gets together.
Yes.
Spend time together, and then you still get exercise in. And you do something fun. Volleyball is fun. Oh my goodness, I loved it as a child.
I mean, sometimes what we've learned to do so much is we congregate around food. So to change that to congregate around fitness is something that's really, I think, an opportunity for us to rethink. What do we do when we get together? And food is wonderful, but food can also be like, I want the mac and cheese and the greens and those things, which are fine and good on occasion. But I really, really enjoy adopting a healthy, even when we travel. We recently traveled to Mexico. And while we were in Mexico, we had a family game of volleyball while we were there. So you can build in fitness and fun into absolutely anything that you're doing. And if it's just walking, maybe walking after dinner with your family, great way to spend time, excellent opportunity to get your body moving so you don't get tired right after. yes, it's just a part of who we are as a family, committing to our fitness and well-being.
Oh, that's excellent. Oh my goodness. Perfect. Now let me ask you this for individuals who are going to start walking, how many minutes per day do you suggest that we start? And how many, when you get out and walk, how many minutes do you walk?
Start slow. Talk to your doctor to figure out what works best for your body, where you're at. It's so individual. I can walk for a long time now because I've been working on it for a long time. But if I'm walking with my 6-year-old, it might look like a 20-minute walk at a very slow pace, stopping often to pick a flower or potentially to play at the park. When I'm walking for myself in the gym on the treadmill, I like to shoot for 30 minutes. And I like to make it fun by listening to music or watching whatever's on the TV, putting on my headphones, changing the incline. Those are opportunities as well. So I think ask your doctor what's best for you and then set a goal that you slowly reach. I think that is critical to success.
Good. Now let me ask you, you faced adversities in your life.
Yes.
How did you overcome those adversities in order to be the very best that you can be?
I have 3 core values that are informed by my faith and my family, and that is joy, love, and growth. Everything I do in life is centered around those 3 values. I find joy in despite of what I was going through. I was grateful to God that He saw fit that I would live another day. And with each day, I was like, how can I grow and adapt new, healthy lifestyle habits? And that was part of my growth. And then all things in love. Find what you love, cultivate a spirit of love, sharing my story. Doing this is an expression of my love for myself, my love for my family, my love for my community. I want no one else to experience what I did and the recovery that I went through that I can speak about so positively right now, but there's hardship in journeys. And so you have to tap into those core values that drive you. And for me, that is hope, joy, and love. That are so critical, and growth.
Hope, joy, love, and growth. Oh my goodness, how motivational and inspiring. Those are my words for the week.
Love it.
My words for the week indeed. Miss Alia, what does onward and upward mean to you?
I love that statement, and I love this question because when we think of onward, we're thinking of future. We are moving forward, and that is so critical for the work I do for the Foundation for Black Women's Wellness here in Wisconsin and beyond, and so critical for how I think about my life and my growth and my journey. So moving forward is so critical. And then when I think about upward, I think about the faith that drives me, my ancestors who came before me, as they support me on that journey. So I think about it almost as a dual track, right? That both are happening at the same time. I'm moving forward and upward in my growth and in my journey.
Yes, indeed. And I don't know if I mentioned it or if we discussed this, but with the Foundation for Black Women's Wellness, why was it created?
Oh, it has such a beautiful birth story that's very similar to the story, my story, and other women who connect with the foundation. Unfortunately, Lisa Payton Care, our founder and CEO, lost her mother, Roberta Payton, at age 64 from congestive heart failure. That loss in her life drove her to start Black Women's Wellness Day, which is an annual event that gathers women and partners across the health systems and across the community and even nation together to talk about Black women's health and wellness. It started in a library with 40 women in Richmond, Virginia. And when they got together, there was too many stories of families and women losing people in their lives too soon from largely preventable illnesses and diseases. And we said, enough is enough. And so Lisa when she moved to Wisconsin with her husband, said, the women here said, we cannot just have a day where we focus on us and our health and well-being. We need to focus on it year round. And there in 2012, 10 years ago, as we celebrate our 10-year celebration, is when the Foundation for Black Women's Wellness was officially became an organization, a 501c3 nonprofit headquartered here in Wisconsin, where our birth and health disparities are absolutely terrible. And we are committed to moving Wisconsin from worst to best for Black women and families here. So that is her birth story. And everybody that comes to the foundation, their story is both personal and political. They have a story themselves. They want to transform their lives, the lives of their family, and the community at large. And that's why we're here. And that's why so many of us were attracted to this organization and the beautiful mission that, although is rooted in hardship, is also rooted in great joy. And so that's really what drove us.
Thank you for sharing the organization's birth story. And you all do amazing things, wonderful things your organization does, with Lisa at the helm and you and all of the other beautiful people on your team.
Thank you.
And it is really an honor and a pleasure for Ashro to partner with you. Indeed, indeed.
We are so grateful.
You've touched on your faith in the last few minutes we've been chatting, but how is your faith your guiding compass?
You know, I believe that I was spared, that God spared my life for a purpose. And when I talked about my top values, as you probably recognize, they come from 1 Corinthians 13.
Yes, I know. I recognize I love it. And the greatest of these is love.
Is love. Absolutely. And so I think it's been instilled in me since I was very young. I'm so happy for my grandmother and my mother, and even probably before that with my ancestors. They prayed for me even before I was a twinkle in the eye. And I'm grateful for that prayer because it sustains me to this day. It sustains me in this very challenging work. It sustains me in pushing myself to do better. It sustains me in allowing myself to be transparent and open so that others can learn and that others can say, hey, I have a similar story. And I want to do something about it too. And maybe I connect with her in some way that will drive me to change. And that is the purpose of my life. And so, again, inspired both by my faith, by those who prayed for me, and by my ancestors as well. So grateful for both. Can't imagine what I would do without either.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing. And I tell you, it has been wonderful speaking with you today. Miss Alia, you are a wealth of information. You're so kind. I tell you, I could go on and on talking with you. But we want to keep the conversation going well after this interview is over. And so if you would like to share the websites and social media handles for your organization, and even if you have any personally, whatever you'd like to share with us, we would like to share with our viewers.
Would love that. Please connect with us. Look out www.ffbww.org. That's ffbwww.org, short for Foundation for Black Women's Wellness.org. On there, you will find ways that you can connect in our community. You can connect not just via social media platforms, but also in an intimate group called Mighty Networks, where we can share with each other our daily journey towards health and fitness. Also there, you can connect to all of our free fitness classes and experiences as well. So if you want to get started online in a community of women who are pushing and encouraging each other each day, I really suggest that you connect with us there. Again, www.ffbww.org.
Excellent, excellent. And do we have any Instagram and Twitter handles?
We have all of that. All are accessible on the website. And I don't have them right in front of me right now, which I should. But they're all
that is okay because I'm sure they can find them on your website.
Yes, all of them are there. Every way to connect with us is there.
Excellent. That's all they'll need. Well, I thank you, Miss Alia, for taking time out of what I know to be a very busy schedule to speak with us today. As I shared, you are a wealth of information. And you have inspired, educated, and motivated us today. And I thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's my pleasure. And you have a wonderful day.